Greetings everyone, Cameron McCasland here. Spring training started this week, which basically means all the teams are in first place. It's still a little bit cold outside, and I thought to warm you guys up both internally and just to get warmed up for the baseball season, I'd show you 5 baseball movies that I really enjoy. Starting out, a little movie called 8 Men Out that talks about the 1919 Black Sox scandal. If you're not familiar with baseball, this is a cool movie to watch because it kind of gives you just a basic rundown of history. Basically, in 1919, the White Sox through the World Series. They weren't making any money because of Charles Kaminsky, just wouldn't pay them. So they got with some gamblers and said, hey, we'll throw a game here, throw a game there because they were the favorites to win and make a little money. Well, of course, they got caught. Everybody got thrown out of baseball, including Joe Jackson, who's still not in the Hall of Fame. And because of that, it's looked at as pretty much the most terrible thing that ever happened to baseball. Of course, later would come the 1994 baseball strike, Pete Rose gambling on baseball, and of course the steroid era, which is a subject for another era. But anyways, this is a movie definitely worth checking out. See it, let me know what you think. Second up is The Bingo Long Traveling All-Stars and Motor Kings. This is a movie with James Earl Jones, Billy D. Williams, and Richard Pryor here. Basically, it's a fictional story about the Negro Leagues, where they took a whole lot of stories from those guys and put it together in a setting and showed you just a lot of the colorful, gameplay that went along with that. There's a really cool scene in this where they're driving these 2 automobiles back and forth and they're playing catch across the cars. It's really neat. I don't know a whole lot about the background of this movie other than to say that I think John Badham directed it. He followed this up immediately with Saturday Night Fever and did another movie a couple years later that I really enjoy called Short Circuit. The guy's still working. He's doing a lot of TV and stuff like that. But check this out. They actually have all the uniforms from this on display at the Hall of Fame, which I went to about 2 years ago just to check out. So, Bingo Long, Traveling All-Stars, and Motor King. Third up is The Sandlot, which is a movie that I used to watch a lot as a kid. The thing I love about this movie as an adult is it really kind of takes, the game back to the roots of, it's just kids, playing in a sandlot. Like I think a lot of kids, they dream of, being these other characters, and of course they get in this sticky situation whenever a baseball goes over the fence. James Earl Jones turns up in this one too. He's done a whole lot of different baseball movies. Kind of funny because I kind of put him and Kevin Costner in that same sense of if they just kept doing baseball movies, it would always be a good thing. Oddly enough, Costner not on this list. Next up is A League of Their Own. This is a movie about women in baseball during World War II. Another true story. This is kind of fictionalized off of a whole lot of stories from that era, but you have basically a group of women who came into professional baseball because they were trying to make money and just keep everybody entertained while the boys were away fighting. Of course, the league only lasted a couple years because when the guys got back, they went back to playing. But it's a really cool story. Tom Hanks is amazing in this. This was, I don't know if this came, exactly what year this came out. It's a Penny Marshall movie, which is, she's wonderful too, if you guys haven't watched a whole lot of her stuff. But I don't know when this came out in, essence of whenever he started winning all the Oscars. But another great movie, worth checking out, just a really cool story. The scene where he takes a piss is one of the funniest things I think Tom Hanks has ever done. Finally, and this kind of ends up my 5, this is a behemoth, and it will take you a while to watch if you do, but this is Ken Burns Baseball. This is, I think, a 10-hour documentary about the entire history of the game, up to the point when it was made, which was the early 90s. They walk you through, show you kind of the inception, how baseball was started, or at least Major League Baseball, kind of came into existence, how the initial story of, Cooperstown and the way that the game started was all a lie, made up by a bunch of Civil War veterans. And takes you through the highlights, the low points, and just shows you a lot of cool stuff. There's tons and tons of pictures and film and stuff that hadn't been seen for forever until he got a hold of all this and put it on. So definitely worth checking out. If you started this now, you may have time to watch the whole thing before the start of the season. Of course, I am going to be pulling for my Rangers, as I do every year, even from here in Nashville. So, again, it's spring training. Everyone's in first place. I think it's going to be a good year for baseball. I had a lot of fun last year. My wife is a New Yorker and a Yankees fan. I kind of feel for that, too, just because when I was a kid, I got to meet Mickey Mantle, Joe DiMaggio. Changed my life and my personal love for the game. So it's really about the only sport I really, truly love. I watch football and occasionally I'll watch a little basketball, but I don't really love those games like in the same way that I do baseball. So anyways, that's 5 movies that I really enjoy. I hope you'll do videos or at least leave comments below telling me the movies that you enjoy to watch. I may do another video like this as the season progresses, or hopefully if the Rangers win the World Series. So anyways, check it out, leave comments, subscribe if you haven't already, and just let me know what you think. See you later.